of Education Special Personnel Only meeting, Thursday, July 11, 2024. Will you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Mr. Secretary, roll call, please.
Ms. Blake?
Here.
Mr. Holmgren?
Here.
Mr. Hyder?
Here.
Dr. Kopko?
Here.
Mr. Mazur?
Here.
Mr. Warvick?
Absent.
Mr. Reddick?
Absent.
Mr. Stevens, I'm here. Mr. McDermott?
Here.
Quorum established.
Thank you. Before we get started, I'd like to read the following. Pursuant to the Pennsylvania Sunshine Act, the board president wishes to announce that at its regular meeting convened for general purposes on Thursday, July 11, 2024, the Board of Education of the Hanover Area School District held an executive session to discuss matters of employee relations, labor negotiations, threatened or actual litigation, and went into closed or executive session at 5:15 p.m. and began the public meeting at 6:02 p.m. The subjects discussed in the executive session related solely to matters of employee relations, labor negotiations, threatened or actual litigation. Okay, do we have any public comments regarding agenda items only? Not seeing anything, we'll move to the agenda, which is, there is no general recommendation, superintendent report, or financial recommendations. We go right to personnel committee, or recommendation, I apologize. Items 1 through 4, we have a motion to accept
Accept the minutes.
Oh, I'm sorry. From what meeting?
Oh, you know what we're gonna do then, August 6th for all three of the officers. Never mind, I'm so sorry.
Okay, that's all good. Back to personnel, items 1 through 4 as written in the agenda. Do we have a motion to approve? Or to approve, right?
Motion.
Motion by Mr.
Mazur.
Mazur?
Second.
Second by Mr. Stevens. Roll call?
Ms. Blake?
Yes.
Mr. Holmgren?
Yes.
Mr. Hyder?
Yes.
Dr. Kopko?
Yes.
Mr. Mazur?
Abstain on one and go with the rest.
Mr. Stevens, yes. Mr. McDermott?
Yes. Motion carried, I assume?
Yeah, motion carries. Sorry.
Item 5, do we have a recommendation from the athletic committee chairperson, Mrs. Fleisch?
The athletic committee would like to make Justin Thomas as boys varsity wrestling coach.
I'll second that.
Okay, I'll just read the rest of the motion. Personnel for 2024-25 school year at a salary of $7,456. Thank you, Mrs. Blight. Motion by Mrs. Blight, second by Mr. Stevens. Roll call, please.
Ms. Blake?
Yes.
Mr. Holmgren?
No.
Mr. Hyder?
Yes.
Dr. Kopko?
I'm supporting a different candidate. No, my vote is no.
Mr. Mazur?
Yes.
Mr. Stevens, yes. Mr. McDermott?
I'm supporting another candidate also, so I vote no.
Number 5 carries.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Items 6 and 7 as written. We have a motion to accept.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Holmgren, second.
Second.
Was that Hyder? I'm sorry.
Yes, it was.
First one was, motion was made by Mr. Hyder.
No. Holmgren, then
Holmgren
Hyder.
and then Hyder. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Please say your name. It makes it easier for me sitting here.
Blige.
Okay.
Holmgren.
I'll start over. Motion by Mr. Holmgren, second by Mrs. Bleish. Roll call on numbers 6 and 7, please.
Ms. Blake?
Yes.
Mr. Holmgren?
Yes.
Mr. Hyder?
Yes.
Dr. Kopko?
Yes.
Mr. Mazur?
Yes.
Mr. Stevens, yes. Mr. McDermott?
Yes.
Items 6 and 7 carry.
On item 8, we discussed possibly tabling this motion. Do we have a motion to table item number 8?
Motion. Holmgren?
Motion by Mr. Holmgren.
Second. Mazur?
Second by Mr. Mazur. Roll call.
Ms. Blake?
Yes.
Mr. Holmgren?
Yes.
Mr. Hyder?
Yes.
Dr. Kopko?
Yes.
Mr. Mazur?
Yes.
Mr. Stevens, yes. Mr. McDermott?
Yes.
Number 8 is tabled.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. On number 9, Mr. Superintendent.
Yes, superintendent's recommendation is to appoint Courtney Craigle as elementary teacher at a salary of step B1, $53,768, effective August 21st, 2024.
Anyone have a motion to accept the superintendent's recommendation?
Motion, Hyder.
Motion by Mr. Hyder, second by Mrs. Bleich. Roll call, please.
Ms. Bleich,
Yes.
Mr. Holmgren.
Yes.
Mr. Hyder,
Yes.
Dr. Kopko,
Yes.
Mr. Majer.
Yes.
Mr. Stevens, I'm a yes. Mr. McDermott.
Yes.
Number 9 carries.
Number 10, same thing, superintendent.
Okay, appoint Nicole Craigle as elementary school teacher at a salary of step B1, $53,768, effective August 21st, 2024.
Do we have a motion to accept the recommendation of the superintendent?
Motion, Stevens.
Motion by Mr. Stevens,
Second, Hyder.
second by Mr. Hyder. Roll call.
Ms. Bleich,
Yes.
Mr. Holmgren.
Yes.
Mr. Hyder,
Yes.
Dr. Kopko.
On the question, Mr. Superintendent, these two individuals in 9 and 10, they subbed for us for 2 years, is that correct?
Yes, they've definitely earned their place here.
I'm yes, thank you.
Mr. Majer,
Yes.
Mr. Stevens, I'm a yes. Mr. McDermott.
Yes.
Number 10 carries.
Item number 11, second recommendation by the superintendent.
Appoint Mary Beth Scanton as elementary school teacher at a salary step M17, $74,433, funded by Title II funding, effective August 21st, 2024.
On the question, something about how the pay for that particular job?
Yeah, to offset the pay of the retirement incentive that we did was through Title II funding. That's a federal grant program for our elementary classrooms.
Thank you, Mr. Superintendent. Do we have a motion to accept?
Motion, Holmgren.
Okay, second by, motion by Holmgren, second
Bleich.
by Mrs. Bleich. Roll call?
Ms. Bleich,
Yes.
Mr. Holmgren.
Yes.
Mr. Hyder,
Yes.
Dr. Kopko.
Yes.
Mr. Majer.
Yes.
Mr. Stevens, I'm a yes. Mr. McDermott.
Yes.
Number 11 carries.
Item number 12, superintendent recommendation.
Appointing Shannon Mizakowski as special education teacher at salary step B1, $53,768, effective August 21st, 2024.
Thank you. We have a motion to accept the recommendation.
Motion, Hyder.
Mr. Hyder, seconded.
Second, Stevens.
Mr. Stevens, roll call?
Ms. Bleich,
Yes.
Mr. Holmgren.
Yes.
Mr. Hyder,
Yes.
Dr. Kopko.
Yes.
Mr. Majer.
Yes.
Mr. Stevens, I'm a yes. Mr. McDermott.
Yes.
Number 12 carries.
Number 13, recommendation by the superintendent.
Appoint Madison Wynn as special education teacher at step B1, $53,768, effective August 21st, 2024.
Motion to accept the recommendation of the superintendent.
Motion, Hyder.
Motion by Mr.
Second,
Hyder,
Holmgren.
second by Mr. Holmgren. Roll call?
Ms. Bleich,
Yes.
Mr. Holmgren.
Yes.
Mr. Hyder,
Yes.
Dr. Kopko.
Yes.
Mr. Majer.
Yes.
Mr. Stevens, I'm a yes. Mr. McDermott.
Yes.
Number 13 carries.
Item 14, Mr. Superintendent recommendation.
Appoint Allison Park as instructional aide as per the HASPA contract in accordance with salary and benefits for the 24-25 school year
At,
$15 an hour.
thank you. Do we have a motion to accept the recommendation?
Bleich.
Mrs. Bleich, seconded.
Second, Stevens.
Mr. Stevens, roll call?
Ms. Bleich,
Yes.
Mr. Holmgren.
Yes.
Mr. Hyder,
Yes.
Dr. Kopko.
Yes.
Mr. Majer.
Yes.
Mr. Stevens, I'm a yes. Mr. McDermott.
Yes.
Number 14 carries.
Item number 15, recommendation of superintendent.
Appoint Rachel Tarnalicki as instructional aide as per the HASPA contract in accordance with the salary and benefits for the 24-25 school year, beginning at $15 an hour.
Any, motion to accept the recommendation of the superintendent.
Holmgren, motion.
Motion by Mr. Holmgren.
Second,
Mr.
Hyder.
Hyder, second. Roll call?
Ms. Bleich,
Yes.
Mr. Holmgren.
Yes.
Mr. Hyder,
Yes.
Dr. Kopko.
Yes.
Mr. Majer.
Yes.
Mr. Stevens, I'm a yes. Mr. McDermott.
Yes.
Number 15 carries.
Item 16, superintendent recommendation.
Appoint Jenna Grunka as paraprofessional at a non-unionized rate of $20 per hour, beginning for the 24-25 school year.
Motion to accept the recommendation.
Motion, Stevens.
Mr. Stevens, seconded.
Majer.
second by Mr. Majer. Roll call.
Ms. Bleich,
Yes.
Mr. Holmgren.
Yes.
Mr. Hyder,
Yes.
Dr. Kopko.
Yes.
Mr. Majer.
Yes.
Mr. Stevens, I'm a yes. Mr. McDermott.
Yes.
Number 16 carries.
Item 18, motion by superintendent.
No, 17.
Just asked you that. Okay, my apologies. Item 17, motion by, or recommendation by superintendent.
Appoint Sandra Kodovetsky of a paraprofessional non-unionized rate of $20 per hour for the 24-25 school year.
Do we have a motion to accept the
Majer.
recommendation? By Mr. Majer, seconded?
Second, Bleich.
By Mrs. Bleich. Roll call?
Ms. Bleich,
Yes.
Mr. Holmgren.
Yes.
Mr. Hyder,
Yes.
Dr. Kopko.
Yes.
Mr. Majer.
Yes.
Mr. Stevens, I'm a yes. Mr. McDermott.
Yes.
Number 17 carries.
Only two more folks. Number 18, recommendation by superintendent.
Appoint Vonetta Simmons as paraprofessional at a non-unionized rate, $20 per hour for the 24-25 school year.
Motion to accept the recommendation of superintendent.
Motion, Stevens.
Motion by Stevens.
Second Majer.
Second by Mr. Majer. Roll call.
Ms. Bleich,
Yes.
Mr. Holmgren.
Yes.
Mr. Hyder,
Yes.
Dr. Kopko.
Yes.
Mr. Majer.
Yes.
Mr. Stevens, I'm a yes. Mr. McDermott.
Yes.
Number 18 carries.
And number 19, recommendation by the superintendent.
Appoint Eva Wickheiser as a paraprofessional at a non-unionized rate of $20 per hour for the 24-25 school year.
A motion to accept the recommendation of
Motion
superintendent.
Holmgren.
Motion by Mr. Holmgren, second by Mr. Majer. Roll call.
Ms. Bleich,
Yes.
Mr. Holmgren.
Yes.
Mr. Hyder,
Yes.
Dr. Kopko.
Yes.
Mr. Majer.
Yes.
Mr. Stevens, I'm a yes. Mr. McDermott.
Yes.
Number 19 carries.
Thank you, everyone. Appreciate that. At this time, we will now be open to public comments regarding any issue in front of the school board. Everybody's looking at each other. Come on up. Wanna come up?
You got it.
Over to the podium, right?
Yes, ma'am, if you don't mind.
No, that's fine. Good evening. My name is Dakota Siskowski. I was recently the assistant softball coach for varsity softball along with Coach Ann for the 2024 varsity softball season, and last year's junior high assistant. I'm here speaking today because it was brought to my attention that I, as well as the junior high coaching staff, are being fired due to the head coach not wanting family coaching family. Even though multiple other sports at Hanover involve family. We came into last season with the motto, one team, one family. But as you can tell by all the meetings and emails that have occurred, we've got the complete opposite. This season consisted of me as a coach not having a voice, partaking in the same drills over and over every practice, and the same losing results as previous seasons when it came to games. And overall not being respected as compared to Coach Ann by her and the team. Coach Ann also never informed me of anything going on like recruiting younger girls to play, and fired me via text message rather than a simple phone call. I want to thank you guys for the time to listen, and I hope you all consider giving me a chance to show what I can do to make Hanover softball successful.
Thank you very much.
Good evening, my name is Cheyenne Ziskowski and I'm here speaking on behalf of my softball season this year. As you all have probably heard by now from the numerous emails and meetings, it hasn't been all that great. Whether it was me being left out in the prom photo situation or the way I tried to confide in my coach just for her to announce what I had privately said to her in a group message including my entire team, or the way my sister, Coach Dakota, was treated throughout the entirety of this past season. I'm here speaking as a player, not Coach Dakota's sister. We were promised a better outcome since the very beginning of the season, where on and off the field we were to be one team, one family, and how we would refuse to lose. Yet everything remained the exact same as previous seasons. As an upcoming senior this year, I hope for things to change drastically regardless if my sister is coaching or not. I just don't believe it's fair to fire someone who's barely given the chance she truly deserves. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Amber Siskowski, and I am here today on behalf of both of my daughters, Dakota and Cheyenne, with the recent softball season. Whether it was Dakota as a coach and Cheyenne as her player, being treated both the same. Because sorry. Dakota not getting the respect she deserved as a coach, and Cheyenne being treated the same way because she was her sister. I was beyond fed up and hurt hearing something new every time they came home from practice or a game. It was more like Dakota was one of Coach Ann's players rather than her assistant coach. It was brought to Mr. McCree and Miss Rupert's attention on numerous occasions since the beginning of the season, on three different occasions, about how Coach Ann had been acting towards both Dakota and Cheyenne. But after the prom situation, Coach Ann called Dakota as Cheyenne's sister rather than me or my daughter Cheyenne, who actually was involved with the prom situation. Then later told Dakota, "This is why I don't want coaching family." This is when I really started to become frustrated, not only as a mother, but somebody who knows what kind of people they both are and how truly they deserve so much more. If you read the emails, you know there's so much more I can say about Coach Ann's actions throughout this year's softball season. But I'll leave it off by saying I really hope you take firing Dakota into further consideration, as she generally cares about each player equally and can offer a lot more than what she is able to show off this year. I think between all the emails that have been sent by numerous people out says a lot about how everyone feels towards Dakota. Being let go as a coach via text message and without good reason. The disrespect given by Coach Ann unfortunately speaks volumes on how this last season went and how that one team, one family was let down. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
ma'am. Can we say anything about this? Is there anyone else about anything? Come on up.
I'm probably gonna stutter a little bit because I don't do this and I'm nervous. But I feel that I should speak on some of our boys for the wrestling program. I would just like to speak on behalf of some of our parents and some of our kids in the wrestling program and be their voice. They have known Chris Kane since kindergarten. He has raised these young boys into one, sorry, I get emotional, into young.
Excuse me, would you say your name and?
I'm sorry.
And just relax.
I'm nervous.
Just-
My hands are all
Don't
wet
be.
and sweaty.
Don't be.
I hate doing
Don't be.
this.
You're fine. Just
I'm
your name.
Penny. I'm Jeffrey Peck's mom from the Hanover Wrestling Program.
Thank you, ma'am.
Nobody's shaking. These boys have known Chris Kane since kindergarten. He has raised these young boys into wonderful young men. His dedication to our kids and this program goes well beyond the wrestling room. He's always been a positive role model to them, giving up much of his own life to create a better Hanover program. He has always been about we and not about the I. I may not agree with your choice here tonight, which is okay. I just wish that you could have asked the boys what their opinions were and who they thought would have been the right choice. I'm leaving some stuff out because I don't want to say some of the stuff I said. My son has wrestled for 10 years and would not be half the wrestler he is today if it weren't for Chris and some of the other coaches. No, I'm not saying that, sorry. If it was not for Chris, no, sorry, I don't want to say some of the things I wrote because I was mad when I wrote this. I know the decision has already been made, but I'm here because I want to let you know we feel it's the wrong one and you may be losing a lot of the boys because of this. All right, that's it. I don't want to say no more. Sorry.
You've done very well. It's not easy talking in
No, it's
front of
not. I
people.
don't like
Thank you
speaking
very
for
much.
people.
Thank you all. Thank you.
Okay, Warren, my son's Derek Warman, Hanover Wrestling. I'm a little confused by the agenda because the wrestling coach was not posted for the, who was to be voted on. There are some other board members here that voted that they're voting for another choice. Is that going to be presented before I can speak?
I'm not sure what he's saying.
Can't hear what you're saying.
No,
I'm sorry?
no, it wouldn't be presented. The majority
Is this
is
still to be decided because the votes, was that a final decision?
a final decision, sir.
Okay, very disappointed.
Anybody else? Sorry. Sorry about that.
That's okay. My name is Dwight Smith. My son is Chase Smith. He's an incoming freshman wrestler. For the past 8 years, he has wrestled under Chris Caines. 6 years nonstop, year-round. If my son is not with me, he is with Chris Caines in a wrestling room or at a wrestling tournament. I understand you guys had a difficult decision. I believe both options were good options, which is a good option or a good problem to have. However, I think the wrong choice was made. I've been around wrestling for the last 8 years. I've seen a lot of crappy programs. Hanover doesn't have a crappy program. And Chris ran your elementary program for the last 8 years. He was a junior high coach for the last 2 years. And I think that he wasn't given a fair chance. He's not, I mean, obviously he's not here tonight. He's in a wrestling practice right now. They're going to Ohio this weekend, Atlantic City next weekend. His life is wrestling, and he doesn't just care about his son, he cares about every one of the kids in the room. And like I said, I understand your decision is made. I think it's the wrong one. I'm disappointed, as I think a lot of people are going to be disappointed. And I think that maybe there should have been some sort of conversation with the wrestlers and the students that you guys are making decisions for. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, members of the board. Daniel, DJ Erickson, Ashley. I was also up for the candidacy for head wrestling coach at the boys varsity program, and it is, with Mr. Smith's comments as well, it is my opinion that myself and Chris Caines were both overlooked for this position, mine specifically being I'm very young, and I understand that, and I know the decision is made. I'm disappointed with the decision. I love these kids, I do. They're like little brothers to me. Every single one of them I have fought for in matches and in the practice room, and I do not see this decision going well for the school, and I believe that it should have been a better deliberation process. And I wish you guys good luck with the upcoming wrestling season. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Anybody else? All right, not seeing any. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion
to our
to
next
adjourn.
meeting. Sorry, Paul, real quick. Our next meeting is August 6, 2024, work session and meeting following at 7 p.m. and on the August 6th. Thank you. Was that motion by Mr. Holmgren?
Yes.
Do we have a second for adjournment? Second by Mrs. Boyce. I got you first, Mike. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? I don't have my gavel. We're adjourned. Thank you, everybody.